She just said that people who think that she is promoting obesity, they are promoting beating recorders. We are promoting beating recorders because we're like, don't be in an obese body because you're going to get type 2 diabetes.
So people out here want to say I'm promoting obesity. You're promoting eating disorders.
Make it make sense. What are you fucking talking about, Brie? I'm promoting beating recorders because I got pre-cancer from being in an obese body, and I'm trying to tell the world that if you are in an obese body, you can get cancer, and you are promoting obesity because you personally failed at the lap band surgery. F you. I wanna tell you that I love you. Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as SunnySideUpGal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Good morning, good morrow, and good day. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope you enjoy this episode. If you haven't already, please consider giving me a subscribe and go ahead and like the video because me know you're gonna like the video. Okay. If you are not new here, thank you so much for returning. Me really appreciate you, and me really appreciate that if you are not subscribed and this is your second or third time and you're still not subscribed, subscribe. Today's episode, we're just going to jump right in. I put a poll out for y'all to pick what I should post this Friday. Today. And you guys said that you wanted to hear, well, actually, it was a very, very close race. As of 4:44 in the AM, the winner is Body Grief Coach being a stupid idiot. So if you're like, who's Body Grief Coach? Why is she a stupid idiot? Well, let me tell you what's it about. So below or here, one of these areas, I'll link my first video about the Body Grief Coach, Brie Campos. She is first of all, she's a professional. I have no idea how she finds work. Me not know. I guess she was a licensed mental health practitioner, me not sure. But now I think she does private stuff. I don't know. You can buy her coaching stuff and it's pretty expensive. I think she is a gigantic grifter. She has taken hostage the term body grief. Now, when you guys think of that terminology, body grief, what do you think of first? My initial thought was grieving something that you can't change, right? So, for example, but for example, somebody who has lost mobility due to an accident, right? Or somebody who has lost a limb due to an accident, somebody who is going through the early stages of dementia, somebody who is just got diagnosed with I don't know, renal failure or something that's like type 1 diabetes or something that is not reversible, something that or maybe even something that you can't really change like right away, right? Well, Brie Campos has co-opted body grief to help those who have decided, you know what? I'm not going to worry about my weight anymore. It's not a problem. I'm going to grieve the fact that I will never ever lose weight. And thank you so much, Brie Campos, for enabling me to be a super duper large obese person. So she's basically grieving the fact that she kind of gave up on weight loss. And if you're like, Robin, you don't know her, you don't know if she gave up. Listen, we're gonna deep dive. I found I was listening to a podcast with her on it she was a guest. Also, in my previous episode with it, watch this one first, then you can go watch that one. There's no, this isn't, you can watch out of order. But anyway, my previous episode, we did find out that Brie Campos Brie had the lap band surgery, and she talked about how she saw people in her life get gastric bypass, was like in awe by their gastric bypass surgery, like, I want that type of thing. And then she didn't even get the right surgery. She got the one that has like the highest failure rate, which, what are we doing? What are we doing, right? Anyway, so she had the lap band surgery. She gave up on that. She's given up on weight loss in general, which, listen, I don't care if you want to not lose weight, I really don't care. If my main problem is people coming onto the internet and normalizing obesity. So like Brie has given up on weight loss. She's like, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. We're not doing weight loss. We're not worried about our body. I'm I'm going to live and learn to like or just deal with this body that I currently live in, which is a morbidly obese body. She's trying to normalize that to like it feels like she's trying to recruit numbers, and I will not allow that, right? We're not going to normalize. That's my issue. I don't think that she's glorifying obesity. I don't think that she thinks obesity is a wonderful thing. I think she is somewhat self-aware that obesity does suck. She's just given up basically and doesn't care to do anything about it. She wants to normalize obesity so that she no longer has to worry or work towards a healthier body type, which again, Brie, if you want to be in a fat body, just don't come onto the internet and try to normalize obesity. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous lifestyle. It would be like if Brie was like coming onto the internet and normalizing smoking cigarettes or normalizing drug use, you know? I will not allow it. And so let's just jump right in and chit and chat and talk a little trash.
I'm the trash man.
And let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you think about our friend here named Brie Campos. So the main reason why I even wanted to work on Brie today was a particular reel that just had me fuming. And then I just, I just went down some more rabbit holes, and then I found this other podcast. So we're going to watch a couple reels. We're going to watch some clips from the podcast I saved, and we're just going to have some fun. So thanks for being here. This is from 3 days ago. Okay. If holidays stress you out because of the abundance of food, you may be struggling with some hidden food rules, creating a sense of scarcity. Healing your relationship with food is not about getting it right. It's about tuning in without criticism and learning from the information provided. My 7-step guide includes curious questions that can help you explore body distress around food or body image and be inquisitive without being critical. So I would also say that like holidays can be difficult. Hold on, let me fix my... Holidays can be difficult. I think what helped me with finding balance in my lifestyle, so I am a ketogenic girly, but my life has been so much easier since a lot, like not being extremely strict around that. So like I am strict most of the time, but I will give myself a little bit of grace if if there is a holiday and I happen to have, bread or a sweet thing. I have sweet things often, but they are sweetened with like monk fruit or stevia because I have PCOS and was pre-diabetic. And so I just eat like I'm still pre-diabetic, even though I reverse insulin resistance. It's not about me, it's about Brie right now, okay? But I kind of get where Brie's coming from. Like I think food rules, especially around holidays, can kind of, I can see where it can be unhealthy or where it could lead to some issues. I think that's also part of my healing with some of my food issues in the past is like, so I've suffered from, so I had I had fringe beating, but I also had like a small bout of like pandyschrexia vibes. I was never diagnosed, but like the vibes were there. Okay. It's just trauma. But I think now as I'm 35 years old and I don't have like specific food rules around holidays and stuff like that, like I kind of give myself a little bit of grace and I have a chance to enjoy myself. It makes the rest of the year be a little bit easier. I'm what people would call an abstainer, but I abstain to the point where it's like I abstain until like a special occasion. So like all of my non-abstaining days, like all of my days that are off plan from my particular lifestyle, so a ketogenic lifestyle, they're always going to be planned. Part of my healing was making sure that everything is planned. Which is that disordered? I don't think so. Because I mean, if it's not planned, then I'm just going to be eating myself into like
out of house at home, basically.
But so all of my off-plan days, I plan them. So I can, anyway, I don't get, what I'm trying to get at is that I don't get anxious around holidays anymore. I have my thing and then it's back to the rest of my life the next day. You know what I mean? Let's listen to her though. This really pissed me off. She's such a fuck.
I'm an intuitive eater who is in recovery, and I want to show you what I'm doing right now. I'm eating.
Okay. She's an intuitive eater who's in recovery. So Brie has told us that she is in recovery from pandysphrexia, which I'm gonna just be mean. I don't think she had it. Not even atypical. I mean, baby girl, you had lap band surgery. Because you couldn't control what you eat. I think and we find this a lot with the fat acceptance community, a lot of people in the fat acceptance community, they claim that they have this extremely rare, very reductive beating recorder, pandysphrexia, and it's like, no, baby girl, you have fringe beating recorder, which there is a cycle, which I will put the picture up, but there is a cycle of where you restrict, right? And then you eat a shit ton. That's why you're so big. That's why I was big. Right?
Ice cream from the
Okay, so anyway, first of all, look at the sandal. I'm just kidding. Sorry, Brie. All right. Anyway, so Brie, she is eating ice cream from a container, which coming from somebody who had fringe beating, that is a trigger. First of all, I don't think my husband and I have bought tubs of ice cream in forever. We're pint people because I feel less I would feel less guilt about eating an entire pint of ice cream than I would if I had a big old tub or a gallon of ice cream and I ate that, there would be some issues with that. But also, I can't control myself around ice cream. I will eat the entire thing. She's claiming this is healing. I'm seeing, baby, you are very, very much still in the depths of a fringe beating recorder.
container. From the container. In my disordered days.
I'm eating ice cream from the container. That's healed. No, I don't. You know what? From a humanity stance, please don't do that. I mean, she probably. I know she lives alone, so it's yours. Whatever, do whatever you want. But that is just anybody eating directly from a carton of ice cream. I'm like, do I need to call somebody for you? Are you okay? Do you want to talk about it? That is schmishmortared and depression coded.
I didn't eat ice cream from the container. Now,
in my schmishmortar days, I didn't eat ice cream from the container. So in my schmishmortar days, I was a normal human being. Nobody should be eating ice cream directly from the container. You guys, if you're eating ice cream directly from the container and it's not your personal pint of ice cream, please do better. Do better. I mean, I guess if you can control yourself, but I know I can't.
I trust myself to stop when I'm done. And to
Okay, but when are you done? Is it after the entire thing is finished? Because I'm not 100% sure and I need the proof.
I have ADHD and I don't want to dirty a bowl.
ADHD doesn't want to dirty a bowl. Do you not know how to rinse? We've got an ADHD household. I'm not diagnosed. I don't think I really have it, but I am lazy. And my husband has ADHD. I think one of the best things that I've done, which lately we haven't been really good about, there are dishes in the sink, okay? We do have dishes in the sink. But one of the best things that you could do for somebody who has ADHD is get a dish rack and then just rinse. I don't know. For me, it's been nice. I'm not as good as it. Use the same stuff. Use a bowl, rinse it out, wash it or whatever, put it in a dish rack right away, immediately, when the food is soft and easy to spray off. You know what I mean? Same for spoons. Rinse, 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 wash, 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 put it in the dish rack right away. The reason why I say that this is easier than using a dishwasher, I personally, seriously, I don't know. I don't think I have ADHD. I could be in denial, but I can load a dishwasher. I can't unload a dishwasher. Does that make any sense to you guys? Is anybody else like that? I hate unloading the dishwasher. I think because it involves opening cabinets, opening the dishwasher, opening cabinets, opening drawers, organizing. It's too many steps. Whereas if I could just rinse the dish right away, rinse and wash it right away and put it in, that's 2 steps. Bop, bop. Whereas loading the dishwasher, it's open the dishwasher, pull the rack out, wash the dish, put it in the dishwasher, push the dish rack back in, close the dish. You know what I mean? That sounds so maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But also, I kind of think that humans wash dishes better than dishwashers, but me not know. Anyway, you don't want to dirty a dish, so you're fucking lazy is all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. I know that is that rude to ADHD people, or do you guys also go, that's lazy? I'm gonna eat an entire cart. Like, what is that? What was that? A quart?
Court.
I don't think that this is. Would you guys look at this and be like, wow, damn girl, she's healed? I wouldn't. I would not. I named it Brie Campo's Big Dum Dum. There was another one. Okay, here she is again. Recovering from a beating recorder and healing my body image looks nothing like I ever imagined. I thought healing meant, you guys, even if she had a beating recorder, the reductive kind, because I think that she has fringe beating. I mean, you don't get this size with, and she's even claimed that she's always been large, obese, right? Why are we normalizing one obesity, and then why are we also like going, oh my gosh, yay, you have healed from this beating recorder, please stay fat, please get fat. Getting fat is the only way to heal pandysrexia, when it's like, no, like now you've gone into another realm of illness. Like you've gone into another realm of like being unwell. And obesity, I mean, I'm not, there's a middle ground that we need to find, and we are normalizing obesity with the argument that like if you're not normalizing obesity, you want pandysrexic people walking around, you want skeletons in the earth. And it's like, no, we want a middle ground. We want people to be healthy. We do not want diabetes. We want you to live longer than 40, right? She's 35, by the way. She's 35, by the way, you guys. We are the same age. You'll see your face in a second, but we are the same age. 35. I'm 35. I thought healing meant my body would get smaller. Let me just play this, but I'm gonna turn the music off. I thought healing meant my body would get smaller. I never believed I would be okay in a fat body. She often talks about how she's not really okay with it. She mentions that she sits in the suck of being in a fat body. She acknowledges that being in a fat body blows, like as far as, you know, finding clothes and stuff like that. She's not happy. And I don't think she's okay in a fat body. I never believed I'd be comfortable enough to work out in just a sports bra. Even if my body didn't shrink, I didn't believe it, and I'm here still anyhow. But I didn't get here by chance. I got here by navigating the uncharted terrain of body grief. Uncharted terrain. Ma'am, there was somebody else who invented the terminology body grief, and you are co-opting it to to enable people to be in an obese body. You are pissing me off. I don't believe it. I'm still here anyway, but blah, 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 blah. I'll show you how to begin my free 7-step guide from body grief to radical body acceptance. Comment 7 steps. Let me comment 7 steps. Commenting 7 steps. All right. And sometimes recovery looks like dancing in a sports bra in your kitchen, eating ice cream from the container after hitting PRs and Pilates. Her PR is showing up. My goodness, that was a good one. Okay, listen. Eating ice cream. Let's just as a collective believe that eating ice cream from the quart is never a symbol of recovery. Like, I wouldn't even be like, I mean, I guess if you were a skeleton and you were eating ice cream and I'd be like, okay, you need nutrition of some sort. So like, let's get it. Okay. But somebody who is morbidly obese should not be eating ice cream from a quart. Just saying. Again, I'll bring up the smoker analogy. It is like watching somebody who's missing a lung because they lost it from smoking smoke an entire carton of cigarettes. Like, this gal is obese to fuck, and now she is eating ice cream directly from the quart. I'm not saying she's going to eat the entire thing. Maybe she is healed in that way and she doesn't eat the entire thing and she really doesn't want to dirty a dish, but it's like, baby girl, please love yourself. Also, what in the hell kind of quart? What brand is this? What brand has nothing on there? She went and got it somewhere? Is that how it works? So you went to Stone Cold or whatever, Cold Stone, and got your own quart of ice cream? Something like that. I will say, I know it's because I don't have a lot of body fat on my boobs anymore. She does have big bazungas, and I do miss having big boobs. But also her boobs are right here too. So like, never mind. Never mind.
You're promoting obesity is the laziest and most foolish.
I actually don't think she's promoting obesity. She's trying to normalize it, which feels worse. Do you guys agree? Would you agree that that feels worse than like just glorifying or promoting or promoting? Like she's trying to normalize it. She's trying to make more people fat.
Assertion I have ever heard in my entire life. Me saying that you have the right to human decency, dignity, and respect is not the same as saying you should all be fat.
But that's not what she's saying, though. That's not what she's saying, though. Her argument is grieving the fact that you will not be skinny and enabling people into being obese, right? Enabling people to stay obese. She is not really, her whole body grief thing has nothing to do with like, you have the right to, like, she's not she's claiming to be an activist for fat liberation and fat and not fat acceptance, but like the actual liberation and like the actual I guess fat rights or whatever. But her shtick is grieving the fact that you'll never be in a thinner body. So she's not really saying trying to tell everybody that they need to have human decency. She's saying from my understanding, if I'm not reading it right, she wants people to just be okay with being in fat bodies. She wants to normalize that. She's not saying she's not. Let's restart that. Hold on.
You're promoting obesity is the laziest and most foolish assertion I have ever heard in my entire life. Me saying that you have the right to human decency, dignity, and respect is not the same as saying you should all be fat.
Okay. So she is not saying that in this reel either, though. If I had $1 every time somebody told me I was promoting obesity, encouraging people to heal their relationship with food plus body image and movement is not the same as encouraging people to become or stay fat. It is morally wrong to be fat. Oh, sorry, it is not morally wrong to be fat. I agree. It doesn't. There's nothing. They don't correlate to me in my brain. Yet the world would continue to push the narrative that it is. I cannot change the world, so I change my beliefs instead. So I can't change. So I'm just going to gaslight myself, basically. So now when someone says I'm anything about my body, I feel sad for them, not me. So again, she's not. Where did you say that? Where are you fighting for people to have human decency? What I'm saying, I'm not saying that she doesn't believe that, but I'm saying is that like is semantically the right, like she did not say that in this reel. She doesn't ever really say it anywhere else. She's not an activist in that way. She is trying to help people to accept their bodies and heal their relationship with food and body image, yada yada yada. But like
Assertion I have ever heard in my entire life. Me saying that you have the right to human decency, dignity, and respect is not the same.
Okay, but she didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. She didn't say that anywhere. She doesn't say that often. She's trying to normalize obesity and make people comfortable with being obese. That's, to me, that feels like it's not necessarily promoting, but she is trying to normalize.
As saying you should all be fat. It is so great being fat. When you're fat, everyone assumes every medical problem you've ever experienced
Again, 35, you guys. 35.
is because of your body size. You want to buy clothes? Sorry, sucks to be you. People will look at your body and think that they know you, that you're lazy, unmotivated, lack self-control. When you're fat.
I mean, it's never good to assume, but coming from a fat person, I did lack self-control, and I did a lot of the things that she just mentioned.
You no longer fit in public spaces like airplanes and theaters and roller coasters. Who the fuck is promoting obesity?
You are, oh my God, you are trying to normalize obesity, though. You are, Brie.
Or glorifying obesity. This is why we cannot have.
A lot of people are glorifying obesity and promoting obesity. We've one person in particular that comes to my thought as what's her name, Miss Piggy something. I'll post her picture up here. I think I've done a video on her before. I think she glorifies obesity. I think Alicia McCarvo is a promoter of obesity. I used to not think that. I used to think like, oh, she's just existing, but no, I think she is a fat acceptance girly. And but there are a lot of people out there that are promoting obesity or glorifying it. Even if they're joking around and be like, yeah, I'm here to glorify obesity. Here's my belly. Like, you kind of are, though. You kind of are. Still.
Nuanced conversations about weight loss for health. Because you will never convince me that shaming a person on the internet for their health is less dangerous than me.
For their health. She is one of those health deniers, I think. Like, she denies science. Oops, excuse me. She definitely believes that being fat has no effect on your health, which it does. Being obese runs the risk of you, when you live in an obese body, you have a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, sleep apnea. You also run the risk of getting 13 types of cancer. And of those cancers, they make up 40% of all the cancers in the United States that people get. And I had a cancer scare a few years ago, actually 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I had precancerous lesions in my uterus, so I almost got uterine cancer from it. And it was I'm 100% sure it's from being obese. And yeah, being obese is a problem, and it could causes it's a living in an obese body is dangerous. Living in an obese lifestyle is a dangerous behavior.
Just existing in a larger body. My life doesn't suck because I'm fat. It is exponentially harder. But you know what was harder than being fat? Having an eating disorder. Hating myself. Hating my body. Literally spending every spare dollar and time.
Dude, that sucks. I mean, it does suck that she really did just like give up on trying to be in a healthier lifestyle or a healthier body. She didn't get the help up here to deal with why she is so large. And then also the lack of nutrition education. So like she got the lap band surgery, and then rather than she relied solely on the fact that the lap band surgery can like reduce the amount of intake. She did no nutrition, like no nutrition education. So I'm assuming, and I know I shouldn't assume, but I'm looking at her. I'm assuming insulin resistance and PCOS, especially among millennials. Let me see how many millennials have PCOS. Polycystic ovarian syndrome. I'm assuming she may also have PCOS just because she's so large, and she does look insulin resistant. So polycystic ovarian syndrome affects estimated 5 to 6 million people of reproductive age. This translates to roughly 7 to 12% of women, though up to 70 to 75% of people with PCOS remained undiagnosed. So it could be higher. I'm assuming she has it. So she didn't get nutrition education. She's clearly, we just saw her eating full sugar ice cream. She doesn't restrict or have any type of structure around what she's intaking, which not healthy. I think Americans eat more sugar than they should. Not saying that everybody should go sugar free. That's kind of crazy, So if you can have sugar, please be my guest, right? If you can't have sugar, monk fruit is my favorite alternative. Monk fruit allulose is even better, and they don't give you diarrhea, so that's cool. Stevia was fun for a while, but I'm a little over it. I actually was over it pretty quickly in my weight loss journey. But if you can have sugar, have sugar. But I don't think she can have sugar. I think she's one of the unfortunate people who have to reduce the amount of sugar that they can have in their body. And also, my guess is that she eats too much too often. We don't ever see what she eats. May not know what she eats. I don't know what she eats, but I'm guessing she's not eating. What I'm getting at is I don't think that she is eating a diet that is suitable for the type of metabolism that she has. So, like, there are people who have like a hummingbird metabolism, for example. Somebody I know is like born beanpole. Her TDEE is probably super duper high, and she can eat whatever the fuck she wants. I want her to eat more, She is what they would call a hard gainer. Whereas me, I could look at a cookie and gain 10 pounds, right? I could literally just eat an extra egg and gain a little bit. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, why I know why. It's because I have, just my Hashimoto's makes things a lot slower. PCOS, makes things difficult to lose weight as well. I have to eat an extremely low carb diet. It's not that it's impossible for me. It's just slow. It's just slow. I have to adjust a bunch. I'm practicing, or I'm not practicing. I'm experimenting right now, but I'm not gonna, I'm not here to put my business out. I'm just trying to let you guys know that it's not impossible to lose weight with PCOS or with Hashimoto's. It's just you just have to adjust, and it's just more difficult and slow. However, back to Brie. She's not eating in a way that suits her body. It's clear that her body loves to store energy, and she's putting too much energy in. Does that make any sense to anybody? She's got so much fucking energy stored on her body that she could literally run a marathon, and then she could run another marathon. I'm just playing. Don't run a marathon without training, by the way. So I hear. I don't know. I'm not a marathon runner, and I will never be one.
In an effort to change my body, no matter what the cost was. People want to call me a fat pusher, that I'm promoting fatness and obesity. I think you're just jealous. I think you are
jealous. Jealous of this?
You don't even exist to me.
Not to be mean. That is mean. But no, we're not jealous. We are not jealous that we're not jealous that you don't give a fuck and that you're trying to sell this body grief thing, and you literally don't give a fuck anymore about whether or not you're going to live a long life or not. Like, I'm just going to say that. She does not give a fuck that she's going to die younger. Statistically speaking, that is very common for people who are morbidly obese. We saw what she looked like. She is morbidly obese, okay? Morbid. So, unfortunately, no, we are not jealous. We are trying to live a long life. Why people get pissed at people like this who are promoting, or I would say yes, normalizing, encouraging people to stay fat. We get pissed at this because it's recruiting people into a death cult.
Or jealous that I have found peace in my own body, and you
haven't found peace though, baby. We saw you eat directly from the quart. That's not a healed person. Healed people don't do that shit. Healed people do not do that shit.
Haven't found peace in your own, and it feels unfair that everything you have to give up and still not like yourself or feel comfortable in your own skin.
No, you know what helped me? And if you guys are young watching this, you know what helped me realize, like love my body more? Like, yes, I'm obese, right? I'm so close to being just overweight, but then I'll still be overweight, right? You know what helped me realize and learn to love the body that I'm in, and actually look at myself and be like, damn, I'm cute, or whatever, right? Even though I'm obese, age, I'm matured. I realized that everybody's fucking fat, and I look better than them. Just kidding. Everybody's fat, everybody's also stuck in their own insecurities, right? I know I judge people on the internet, but when I'm out, like, at the beach, like we're going to the beach this weekend, I'm not worried that people are looking at me going,
oh my God, I can't believe this fat lady went onto the beach. First of all, she hasn't gotten a tan yet. She's white as hell. I'm blind.
Right? I don't really care what people think about me. And I think it took me turning 30 to realize that, like, I can't be alone and being insecure. So, like, other people are probably insecure too. They're not really worried about me. Also, I think people are generally nicer. Like, I think people, like, I may be insecure about some things on my body, but I think other people will look at me. You know how many times I go out in public? I really am insecure. I know that I come off as, like, somewhat confident, but I really am insecure. You know how many times I go out into public and people are like, I love your style. Oh my God, your bangs are so cute. Whoa, where'd you get your glasses? Blah, 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 blah. Or they talk about my lipstick or whatever. And I know that those are like accessories that I've added to my body. People don't really look or make comments about other people's bodies negatively, except for Australia. You guys were leaving comments in my last video. You guys, Australia, fucking fix it. Why are you guys so mean to random people on the street? But, like, yeah, turning 30 helped me realize that, like, you are beautiful, right? I'm beautiful. Like, first of all, too, the other thing, I'm never gonna be, I have loose skin, and I have flabby thighs, and I've got a ton of stretch marks, you guys. So many stretch marks. My stretch marks started when I was like 10. I got fat really fast and then matured young. But I have so many stretch marks and there's nothing I can do about them. And I'm okay with that. You know, it's okay. I don't know, but it took me turning 30 to realize that like these things I can't really change unless I have like a shit ton of money, and I'm never gonna like waste money on my body like that. Is it a waste? To me, it feels like a waste because like I can still move my body. Like I can still, I don't know. They're not like stretch marks aren't hindering me from like living everyday life, so I just don't see a point in doing anything to them. If you want to, that's cool. What can you even do anything to them? It just feels like you'll, if anything, they'll just fade. But like I don't know, but it did take me turning 30 to realize like, oh, like nah, girl, your body just bodied and I'm focusing on my health and I'm trying to not be diabetic, and like your body is reflective of that. And now I'm looking at my body in the mirror and, I'm 40 pounds down or whatever, and I'm still on my weight loss journey. I started my new weight loss journey this year and it's not doing really well, but hey, I reverse insulin resistance, and that was a great first goal. I look at my body now and go, I'm on the right path, and I appreciate the body and I love the body, and I don't know. What I was getting at is it just takes time. You just have to continue to tell yourself everybody else has their own insecurities too. You aren't alone in your insecurities because other people are insecure also. And bodies do body things. Like bodies will have shakes, bodies will jiggle, bodies will, yeah, you're not alone in your insecurities. Some things you can change, some things you can't change. You can change the composition of your body, but even if you got like swole, or if you got, to a much smaller body, overnight you can't get rid of stretch marks, you can't get rid of loose skin. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just took, I think, maturity, right? Maturity. I was just like, oh, this is just where my body is at this moment in time, and it's still doing lots of wonderful things for me. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't know. It just took time.
I don't deserve to either. Let me make something crystal clear. My comfort in myself is not because of my body. My comfort in myself is because of my values and the beliefs that I hold. If you are looking to
She speaks so vaguely that I just can't stand her. Like, what are your values?
find comfort in your skin because of your skin, I think you're setting yourself up to fail, because this body is going to change. No matter how much the beauty industry tries to sell you, aging is not reversible. And there's only one way out of this.
The other thing too, obesity is not a part of aging. Like, that's never going to be a part of aging. Like, yes, your hormones will change, making it difficult to lose weight, but like obesity in and of itself is not like a sign of aging.
This life. You can spend it hating yourself and hating your body, or you can try to work with your body. You can.
The crazy thing is like they think that if you were on a weight loss journey that it's because you hate yourself, and it's like, no, I love my body and I want to be around, and I love the people around me and I want to be around for them. So that's why I'm losing weight.
Try to live in accordance to the values that matter to you. And you can change the belief that just because you
She had mentioned that that people believe that it's morally wrong to be fat, but then she's talking about like her body and how it relates to her values. So she's adding, and I don't personally believe that there's any like values or morality or anything have anything to do with like body size. It's very strange to me.
exist in a body that is not societally acceptable means that you deserve to be treated any less, even by you. So people out here want to say I'm promoting obesity. You're
Did you see her neck?
promoting eating disorders.
She just said that people who think that she is promoting obesity, they are promoting beating recorders. We are promoting beating recorders because we're like, don't be in an obese body because you're going to get type 2 diabetes.
So people out here want to say I'm promoting obesity. You're promoting eating disorders.
Make it make sense. What are you fucking talking about, Brie? I'm promoting beating recorders because I got pre-cancer from being in an obese body, and I'm trying to tell the world that if you are in an obese body, you can get cancer, and you are promoting obesity because you personally failed at the lap band surgery. Fuck you. Anyway, let's watch this. Okay, so I listened to a podcast this morning. So she was on a podcast called Find Your Strong, your non-diet fitness and nutrition podcast. So this is two gals. I think one of them had a beating recorder. I'm not sure about the other one. One of them had a beating recorder. They invited Brie onto their podcast, and I don't know if if you didn't watch my last episode about Brie, I had mentioned that on her website she does not anywhere define her definition of body grief. She kind of touches base on it here in this podcast, but it's also still very kind of vague. But let's listen and then chit and chat. So I had commented, I hope they didn't remove them. Hopefully they aren't very active on there. Why have you guys noticed this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So I have all my timestamps here. Oh, I'm a monster. I'm a monster. Okay. So I have all my timestamps here. We're not gonna watch the entire thing. We're just gonna go over the timestamps and call it a day.
Came to become a body image coach. I first was licensed as a mental health counselor. I still am in the state of New Jersey. But
I'm gonna, not to be mean. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. I am being mean. She looks like hell here. Would you guys agree?
But I exist in a larger body. I identify as being fat. When I use the word fat, I use it in a reclaimed way. I don't mean it in a discriminatory way. I don't mean it in a way
I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
that is like degrading. And I know that word used to bother me. And I used to be bothered when people would identify as fat. And so I've always, I was always on a weight loss journey, thinking that finding weight loss was going to help me become the person I was supposed to be, and that the world would get to see the real me. I used to say things like, I feel like I'm in a fat suit, and that like if people could just see beneath the fatness, they would see who the real me is. And never clocked that as self-esteem, never clocked that as a wound, because it was being celebrated, and it was being confirmed by the people around me. And so it wasn't until I got to grad school where I ended up getting an internship in an eating disorder center. And it was the first time where I was like, oh, I think I have an eating disorder.
So she spent most of her life on a weight loss journey, basically, because she was obese most of her life. She went to grad school. She started working with people who have beating recorders, and then realized, oh, I think I have a beating recorder. I don't think maybe if she was self-aware and was like, oh, I have fringe beating, you don't get this size with pandatrexia. I'm sorry.
And what was so hard about that was because Deborah Gard is somebody who's in the health and exercise field, says this quote, what was diagnosed in them was being prescribed to me.
What was diagnosed to them was being prescribed to me.
Right? What was being diagnosed in people in small bodies was considered an eating disorder. But when I did it, it was okay, quote unquote.
Yes, because bodies are different. If you are in a skeletal body and you are trying to reduce, yes, you're going to run into issues. Whereas if you're in an obese body and you try to remain obese or gain even more weight, that's also unhealthy. So yes, obviously it's going to be encouraged for you to reduce as an obese person versus reducing as a skeletal person. Does that make sense?
Because it was for quote unquote health. And I just started
quote unquote health. This bitch is so just in denial about health and how it relates to obesity. I hate that. How are you a practicing mental health person? Like, I just like that cat meme. What the fuck?
Started to see these discrepancies between what I said and what I did. We call it a cognitive dissonance, right? So I'd say, I'm going to do this for my health. And then this thing would then cause me to spiral. And I'm like, well, that can't be healthy. And so I really had to reckon.
Yeah, because you needed to get mental health. Like, again, I'm going to bring up the lap band surgery. She got lap band surgery, something happened to Brie, I think. I'm just, I'm not a professional, right? But something happened to her, I think, trauma, clearly, and she's not dealt with that, and it's causing her to do beating recorder-esque things, particularly fringe beating. So she eats a lot, in secret possibly. Then she does a restrictive thing where she tries to reduce, right? There's the cycle. Um anything to me, food has become her safety. So she's talking about how she would spiral when she's trying to reduce because we're taking away something that she would cope with. So she needed mental help, not just a diet.
Is this the pursuit of health or is this the pursuit of thinness? And it became very clear that those two things were not mutually exclusive. And so I started leaning into body image work. In eating disorder recovery, we would say things like, let's put body image on the back burner. Body image is the last step to come. And I would have girls that would sit with me and be like, if you want me to eat lunch today, we have to do body image now. And
Okay, so she had mentioned this in a reel before, and I'll plug it in.
Body image client told me something this week that pissed me off. A particular client has been in a higher level of care for their ED. Their treatment center said something that we used to say 10 years ago when I was a therapist in higher level of care. There's like a few that like to cycle its way through. The one that they said was, now is not the time to work on body image. Body image is the last step to come. And I call fucking bullshit.
But she had talked about one of the things that she hates is that she had heard somebody talk about how they need to put body image on the back burner, and then now she's bringing it up again but in a different story. So that makes me go, nobody's done these things to you. Nobody's talked. It just feels like a lie. But anyway, different story, same underlying story, tells me this is made up. But I personally, I think that especially if somebody's in the depths and the grips of a beating recorder, particularly a reductive one like pandysphrexia, that they need to not worry about body image at that moment in time because they need nutrition. Like they need to eat something, right? Like I can see why somebody would put body image at the back end of health and healing because somebody is so nutritionally deprived, right? They are literally carved to practically death. They are a skeleton. So I can see where it's like, no, no, no. Let's not worry about your body image right now. Like you need to eat something, right? Or you need something in your body. But Bree doesn't see it that way. Bree wants a job. Bree is like, no, we need to focus on body image because if you don't focus on body image, what am I here for? Well, Bree, you need to focus on your A1C.
And like, fair point. And so it forced me to begin looking at language around body image that I could then talk with my clients around. And so to that end, the framework that I've sort of stumbled into is this concept of body grief. Because the idea for many people was that I'm going to accept my body. I'm going to find this radical body acceptance. And when you take body acceptance at face value, there's probably this preconceived notion that you're going to have to like what your body looks like. There's also a preconceived notion that you're going to get to this place where you don't get activated by your body, where you don't feel distress, where you don't have a quote unquote bad body image day. And when I realized that that was an impossible task, I started looking at.
She talks in extremes. Like I wouldn't say that that's an impossible task. I think there is a way. There is, I think the goal is to be neutral towards our body. I think you can find joy in some goals that you achieve with your body, like as far as like losing weight and achieving weight loss goals. To me, what irks me so much about her is she talks in extremes. She's like, it's impossible, so you need to do this, you need to pay me for this. I just think that she's such a grifter, and like, I mean, she's a businesswoman. Like, she's trying to get people to buy this thing, and she's trying to normalize obesity for her own sake. Because the more people that are okay with being obese, the less she needs to feel bad about being obese, and the less that she needs to be held accountable, and the less that she truly needs to try to lose weight, because I don't think that she's healthy. I really don't. I know that there's something wrong with her. I know. I'm pretty sure she's diabetic. I'm almost pretty sure she's diabetic.
Yeah, well, if acceptance is a place I want to orbit, I'm probably going to have to go through the stages of grief. And so I remember I would see a couple of posts on Instagram about body grief, but then there was nothing. There was nothing further. And so in my own, story, I am no stranger to grief. I have experienced deep loss in my life. And when you look up the definition of grief, it's defined as deep sorrow, which that doesn't help anybody, right? But when you look up the definition of sorrow, it's defined as loss that causes distress. And there was something.
Okay, so this is her this is what she's going to talk about body grief as far as like losing or the inability to lose weight.
About that resonated with me when it came to body. That it wasn't just that my body isn't changing, but it is the loss of what that means for me that is causing distress. And I had to be able to say, I don't like this. This is unfair. This is hard. And simultaneously, I can't fix this. And so
Accepting giving up, because weight loss is available for everybody. Like, you just have to try. You have to try whatever it takes, you guys. Like, I know it sounds, this coming from somebody who's still obese, I know it's probably hard to like listen to me. I know. But it's possible, and she's giving up and selling give up culture. That's what I think. So she's grieving. She's getting sorrow from something that she believes she cannot change, when in reality she's grieving her body because she gave up. She gave up on the ability to lose weight. She gave up on she claims that bodies will change the older you get, yet she's grieving the fact that she can't change this one thing. She can't change the fact that her body is gaining weight every year.
acceptance changed from being I like my body to this is my body.
Wow.
She always tries to sound so fucking profound, and I'm just like, your brain is glycated. Like, you are so fucking dumb. First of all, I think that she does this thing, like, what would we call it, like a word salad. She just does a lot of words. She tries to sound very, very dramatic and profound. And if you watch, I'll link this podcast, but if you watch the podcast, you can see the people in her that she's being interviewed by. They kind of, a lot of the times they go, yes, right? But it's like, did you really understand what she just said? Because I don't understand what she just said.
I have to say, I listened to your Body Grievers podcast, which I would encourage everybody to listen to. I loved it. And I found it so
Also, these people were like, I'm fangirling over her, and she was loving it. Again, let's see if I can find it.
which we will explore. But first things first, welcome, Brie.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I always say, you don't need to fangirl over me. I am just a girl from Jersey who loves talking about body image. So I'm so.
Yeah. You can tell she was like, oh my God, fangirl, I'm famous. No, you're not, bitch. Okay. So here she is talking about bits of diet culture that she finds with, like, they're talking about bits of diet culture that they find with people who are in recovery, which, okay, but just listen to what she has to say.
Or like it's even like, like I went for a walk today, but that's not enough. Like, right, there's still these like little pieces of diet culture that remain and that are celebrated by society. And so of like, oh, like I wasn't hungry today. Like I didn't go back for seconds today. Of no, that's not something worth celebrating.
I would say that if you are in recovery from a fringe beating recorder and you didn't go back for seconds, I would say that that's a non-scale victory. That was a non-scale victory for me, is like not going back for like more and more and more and eating until like I die. So when she said this, I had to mark this because it just felt like it feels like she doesn't believe in fringe beating. Like, she doesn't understand that is also, that's the most common, I believe, beating recorder on the planet. First of all, I don't think that she understands that one exists. And then so denying that, like, denying the approval and the celebration of not going back for seconds when you have a fringe beating recorder feels like, I don't want to say a slap in the face because I can't talk for everybody, but like if I was Bree's patient, right, or customer or whatever the fuck, and I was trying to heal myself and try to love my body or whatever, grieve it, and I was trying to not put on more weight because I have a fringe meeting recorder, and that is from that is a I believe that's part of treatment is to like stop the weight gain. I know that it's not necessarily about weight, whatever, but it's like, no, like you don't eat as much. So like you stop gaining. Is that, let me know what you guys think. I've never been in treatment, but if I went to Brie and I said, I was able to control myself today and I didn't go for seconds or thirds or whatever. And she was like, oh, we're not going to celebrate that. I'd be like, that might stress me out to go binge, right? I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like to me that is almost as bad as like someone being like, I actually ate today, and it's like, no, we're not going to celebrate the fact that you ate today, okay? Because that's just like breathing to a person who has pandaschrexia. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because there's no moralization to it. Like
Yeah.
that, like it would be like, I breathed air today. Cool. Like that's great. As you should, right? And so I think for folks, we want to skip to the acceptance, right? We want to just get to the place where we're like, I love my body, I worship my body, I love my stretch marks, I love all the and so then when that feels impossible, then they look at the trajectory of like, well,
Do any of you have the goal to like worship your body or your jiggles or your stretch marks? Like, I don't think that my body I don't want to worship my body. I just want it to not have diabetes. like if I can't lose another pound, which I refuse to give up, but like if I can't lose another pound, at least I didn't get diabetes. Like at least I didn't give myself diabetes. I reversed insulin resistance. I'm eating in a way that suits my metabolism and my chronic illness the right way, that gives my body enough nutrients, yada yada yada. Like I'm glad that I'm living in a healthier body now. The goal for me is never to worship my body. I don't see that. I don't know. Is that the goal? Are we supposed to be worshiping our bodies at the end of our whatever? Like at the end of, because for some reason I don't like that. I don't think that you should be worshiping your body. You should get a job.
the trajectory of like, well, okay, well, here's where we'll have to go. And if you're ADHD like me, you're like, you know what, that feels really hard. I'm not gonna do that. Or like, I'll do that later. Or, like, let me try this other thing first. But when you get to a place where you have no choice, when your agency is gone, and
She claims, she's like, my agency is gone. Her agency meaning that she has no agency over her body. She cannot change her body anymore. She cannot change her body from being fat. When it's like, yes, you can. Your agency is these two little things and a fork. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down.
this is how I describe the bargaining phase, right? Is for folks, they have one foot on the body liberation train. There's something about it that appeals to them. There's something that's pulling them in, but they still have one foot on the diet culture train.
Yeah.
And the trains are taken off. And so you have to pick a train. You have to make a choice. And so what I will encourage folks is, can you make the choice for now? It does not have to be forever. Let's give body liberation our full self. Let's see.
She's so confusing to me.
Or you have to be all in or all out, which is very diet culture, isn't it? It's very sort of one thing or the other.
Absolutely. And that's I think part of the appeal of like, diet culture is like, well, you have to do this for the rest of your life. And it's a lifestyle change. And there's moralization and there's judgment.
Diet culture is never lifestyle change. I've never heard diet culture and lifestyle change be used like together, unless it's fat people complaining about diet culture. But like the difference, to me, my opinion, the difference between diet culture and lifestyle changes like is night and day. Diet culture to me is like fad diets or yeah, I think about fad diets. I think about quick fixes. I think about how to lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks or something like that, right? That's diet culture to me. Lifestyle changes are like actual changes that you've done to improve your body, to improve your health, right? Your metabolic health. If weight loss comes with it, then cool. But like lifestyle changes are like, I want to move around more. I need to walk every day. I'm going to eat this way for the rest of my life, right? Lifestyle change, like I have to eat a low carb diet for the rest of my life. There are going to be days where I'm off plan. There's going to be weeks or months, where I'm off plan. I've been on a ketogenic diet since 2018. There was a year, panoramic, where I was off plan. There have been months since I've gone back on the ketogenic diet where I was eating off plan, right? But ultimately, I'm still a keto girly. Okay, I've got to be. Or because I have PCOS, the insulin resistance will come back. The type 2 diabetes will come back, right? So that's lifestyle change, diet culture. They're two different. They're. I don't even think that they should be mentioned in the same thing. But only, again, very obese people will say that.
And there's, you know, a hierarchy. And I know for me, as somebody who existed in a fat or who exists in a fat body, I was never going to get to a place where I was acceptable, because even in my smallest fat body, it was still a problem. And so it was easier for me.
Okay, acceptable for who though? Like, are you who is your who is your demographic? Right? Who are you trying to prove your who are you trying to impress, I guess? Where, because I mean, as far as it being unacceptable, if your health was at risk, then yes, that it's unacceptable. I'm assuming that she's talking about when she was possibly on after the lap band surgery where she did lose weight, I'm sure. I think she lost I'm I'm guessing maybe 100 pounds. I'm not 100%. I don't remember. But she did lose weight from the lap band surgery. Not a ton, because obviously, but it was still an issue because obesity is going to be an issue. Obesity is never going to be okay. Sorry, it's not going to be okay. And I'm not talking about morally, I'm talking about like your health. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You're not going to live very long. If you don't care, then you don't care.
To say, you know what, I'm not riding this train anymore. But if I had had privilege, I think that would have been a lot harder to walk away from.
Skinny privilege? What?
That's a really interesting point. That's, again, something that we need to think about, really, Ella.
Yeah.
See, do you see where I'm talking about? Like, I don't think the hosts really understand. I really don't think the hosts understand.
You know what? And I know for me, as somebody who existed in a fat or who exists in my small, I'm not riding this train anymore. But if I had had privilege, I think that would have been a lot harder to walk away from.
What the fuck is she talking about? If she had privilege, it would have been harder for her to walk away from being skinny? Wait am I dumb?
Problem. And so it was acceptable, because even in my smallest fat body, it was still a problem. And so it was easier for me to say, you know what, I'm not riding this train anymore. But if I had had privilege, I think that would have been a lot harder to walk away from.
Am I dumb? Let's listen to this one more time.
And I know for me, as somebody who existed in a fat or who exists in a fat body, I was never going to get to a place where I was acceptable, because even in my smallest fat body, it was still a problem. And so it was easier for me to say, you know what, I'm not riding this train anymore. But if I had had privilege, I think that would have been a lot harder to walk away from.
Okay, so the train she's talking about is the diet culture train. So because she's always been fat, even at her lowest fat body, she was still unacceptable. So she got off the diet culture train and is now on the body liberation train. But if she had privilege, it would have been harder for her to do that. Meaning, if she had the privilege to lose weight easily, it would have been hard. I guess I can understand that. If you have the ability to lose weight easier than whatever Brie Campos was doing, she's got mental issues, so that's why she's not able to lose the weight. I'm just saying.
That's a really interesting point.
See, I don't think that they understand what she's saying.
That's, again, something that we need to think about, really, Ella.
Yeah, we really do.
Clients as well.
Because I don't have anything to compare it to. I've never had that privilege. So I can't miss what I don't have. And it's like, okay, well, I have been doing this my whole life. My mom's favorite story to tell about me is when I wanted to learn how to tie my shoes, I sat with my shoe and I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it until I got it. If I was going to figure out how to lose weight, I was going to be the one. Like, I would have been.
Oh, she had mentioned this story in the other episode as well, where she was like, if she was like writing to her younger self, if you were gonna be if anybody was gonna lose weight, it was gonna be you, or something like that, right? Something stupid like that.
If there was anyone in this world probably succeed at weight loss by sheer effort alone, it would have been her.
Then why didn't she do it? I'm just saying. Why? I'm confused.
effort.
Oh, she had mentioned in her other episode that she was like, if anybody was gonna lose weight, it was gonna be you. Blah 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 blah. But like, you didn't, and you got the lap band surgery, and you didn't, and so it wasn't gonna be you because you either don't know what to do or you've just given up and you believe that it's impossible when it's not.
Going to be the one. Like, I would have been the one to do it. So it's not about effort, right? It's not about how hard I can try. And when I realized, wow, like the effort I'm putting in is never going to bring me the reward that I'm hoping it will. It's easier to say, yeah, I don't need to put this much effort in.
And, you know,
I need to give up. That's what she's saying. That's so annoying to me.
and, you know, going right back to the beginning where you were talking about disorders, I have quite a lot of experience in that field. The simple fact that you can be prescribed the behaviors that are so detrimental to your health, whether you're in a small body, a medium-sized body, a fat body, it is just...
So who is being described the behaviors that are pandysrexia? Like, nobody is being prescribed pandysrexia to deal with obesity. I don't think. Do you guys agree or disagree? Like, I don't think your doctor goes, don't eat for 3 weeks at a time. Challenge yourself not to eat. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing that. Like, I don't think I wouldn't even say, like, I personally am a fan of fasting, but it's never to the point where it's like, first of all, pandysrexia is a mental disorder. So you can't really prescribe a mental disorder to treat another mental disorder. That's stupid. But like, I just don't see, I personally am a fan of fasting. I understand that you can't really, it's not for everybody. It takes training. It's also not for weight loss. Like, I'm not fasting to lose 5 pounds. I know personally that's not a good thing. Like, I don't do that, right? I fast to regulate my blood sugar. I fast to give my body a little bit of a break, right? Especially if I've had like it's never to punish. It's never to lose any weight. Like, I don't care. Like, the weight that you lose from a fast will bounce right back on as soon as you drink some water or whatever, right? Or you start eating normally again. Like, it's not sustainable weight loss, but nobody is prescribing extended fasts, starvation, extreme calorie restriction. Nobody's prescribing that to people with fringe beating recorders or with obesity. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Am I seeing things that other people are not seeing, or are you guys seeing that and it's just not known? But a diet is not the same as pandysrexia.
Oh, there is so much work to be done in that field.
Yeah.
Really. And that's, you know, me coming from that history, but also having a daughter who's recently gone through it. When you get to a certain weight, you're seen as recovered. You're fine. You don't need to worry anymore. We'll set you free. You don't need our help. And it's really sad. I find it really sad that actually we're still stuck there after
so many years, right? And so the question that we have to ask ourselves is, who profits from that? Right? Why this exists? Because someone profits from it. The diet culture is a $72 billion industry. Somebody gets to profit, right? When there is privilege, it means
the diet culture industry is profitable, sure, but I mean, nobody profits more if you just eat less. Nobody profits more if you eat less. And I'm saying eat less in like a healthy way. The obesity epidemic is apparent in the United States. Everybody eats way too much, regardless of how much you want to eat or whatever you want to eat. If you want to eat carbs, whatever. I don't give a shit. Eat less, it will start to fall off, right? Nobody profits if you eat less. The diet culture stuff that she's talking about is profiting is like weight loss medication, weight loss surgery, weight loss food stuffs, like I guess like protein bars, maybe. I don't know. Slim Fast, whatever, shakes and all that jazz. But like, if you just make the lifestyle change to eat, 1, whole foods, 2, stop eating out, 3, stop ordering foods, get rid of your DoorDash, 4, and just eat less and eat less often, who's profiting? Nobody is, because you're spending less, right? Second of all, not even adding the fast food industry, like I think big food in general makes way more money than the diet industry. So like I think regardless of just like, you know, if we just did like fast food and like packaged foods, I think it beats the diet industry by like hundreds of billions. I'm guessing. I'll put the picture back up, but we'll see. They always do this though. The fat acceptance the fat acceptance influencers, they always want to bring up the diet culture profits so much off of obese people and off of people who are constantly on a diet. It's like, no, because when you're on a diet, you just eat less. Like if you're on a particular, if you have to pay to lose weight, then it's not a sustainable diet, right? Be smart, do your research, right? You will save money if you do it the right way. If your lifestyle change and your weight loss journey isn't costing you any extra money, you're doing it the right way. That's what I'm going to say.
Means that there is oppression. And
Yep.
people who have privilege,
Whoa,
when
whoa.
there is privilege to billion-dollar industry, somebody gets to profit, right? When there is privilege, it means that there is oppression. And
Yep.
people who have privilege, it's harder to let go of that privilege because you don't want to experience the oppression.
She's using buzzwords like privilege and oppression to like open people's ears so that they listen to this, but it's like, why did you bring those up? What's the privilege? I feel like I'm dumb. Where's the privilege? Is she talking about skinny privilege? Is she talking about people who like have the privilege to lose weight without really trying? Everybody has to try.
And this is where I had to get to in my journey of I could save myself. I'm like, I had weight loss surgery. I was like, they want to do another surgery right now. I could save myself.
Her doctor wants her to do another surgery now. That's telling you something. She's so fat and obese, she's probably ill with other diseases, comorbidities, that her doctor wants her to have another weight loss surgery. And she's like, no, I won't because I'm an activist. Okay, so die younger. That's crazy. Why?
But it came down to, but it's either I'm saving myself or I'm saving everyone. I'm either advocating for just me and my safety, or I'm saying, hey, nobody should be treated this way.
So she's acknowledging that like her safety. Is she admitting that like her safety is on the line if she doesn't get this weight loss surgery? And she's saying, I'm not going to do it because I have all these other fat people who rely on me to enable their fatness. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think.
Way. And that is the difference between the individual and the collective. This is how body image work becomes
Individual and the collective. She is admitting that she wants to stay a crab in a bucket.
body liberation work. It is not just about the individual. It is advocating for the right of every person and everybody that they deserve unbiased medical advice, human decency.
You just admitted though that like your safety, it was either your safety or the safety of others. Your doctor wants you to get another weight loss surgery, meaning you're at risk for something. People are worried about you.
And respect. And that even if I have more privilege than someone else, I don't get to stand and hold that privilege and not think about it. I get to stand with the person who is less privileged and say, this isn't right. And that is hard to stand there, but it's also so rewarding and it is so healing. And this is where we say that body liberation work it started as a social justice movement. It was never intended, body positivity was never intended to be about loving the skin you're in. It was co-opted by diet culture, or co-opted by the
It was co-opted by diet culture. I would say that it was body positivity was, if we're going to say it was co-opted, it was probably co-opted by Anita, right? Who was trying to make it so that like young girls wouldn't fall into the depths of pandysrexia and just be like, hey, it's okay, bodies are gonna body. Then Dove, which Dove is not a diet culture thing. Dove is selling you deodorant and shit. So diet culture would encourage you not to love the body that you're in. Diet culture would be like, no, you're fat, get skinny.
wanted to take me to the spa for my birthday, and I'm about an hour away from the spa, and so I went and stayed at her house, and I forgot my bathing suit. I forgot my bathing suit bottom because hashtag ADHD. And I could not find a single store that opened before 10 a.m. that had a bathing suit bottom that would fit me. And that
Okay, that's a problem because is it really hard to find size 24? I mean, I don't think that she's bigger than 24. I don't know. Am I fat blind and I just don't know what sizes are sizes? But so she's talking about how she was invited to a spa. She forgot her bathing suit bottoms. If I went to a spa, aren't you supposed to be naked at a spa? That's just me. Maybe she's not comfortable with it. But even still, if I forgot my bathing suit bottom, she's an hour away from her house. If I forgot my bathing suit bottom, I would just wear my underwear.
Like, and this, let's talk about the grief process in that. I went into problem solving. I was like, I was in the bargaining phase. Maybe I can still fix this. I started reaching out to friends of like, hey, can I come by? Like, I was like, I could drive home and get my bathing suit, but I didn't want to do that. And I started looking up stores. I started calling, seeing, is anybody, like, maybe the website's wrong. And I had to get to a place where I'm like, I can't fix this. So I have two choices. I either don't go to the spa or I drive an hour, go get my bathing suit and drive an hour back. And it sucks that I have to do that. That is the grief. It sucks that I have to do that.
I mean, no, I listen. You guys know I'm a very frugal lady, and I would say that it would have been more privilege if she did just go, fuck it. I have money. I'll just go buy another bathing suit bottom. Like, I think personally, I would have either done the free thing, which is just wear my underwear, right? Hopefully she wears underwear. Or I would have driven back to my house to get my bathing suit. If it was that, if the spa was like, you're not getting in without a bathing suit, I would have just driven back to my house, because an hour away isn't that bad. Like, if you live in a large city, like the largest city near me is Orlando. I can drive an hour in Orlando and make like 20 miles. Like, that's not, that's crazy, but it happens with traffic and stuff like that. So you live an hour away. You wasted time looking for a shop to find this gigantic pair of bathing suit bottoms that you couldn't find. You called around, nobody had any. When you could have just been like, I'm going to save money. I'm just going to go get my bathing suit bottoms at home. I have time. You know what I mean? I don't know. The privilege, she's not seeing the privilege in being able to buy larger bikini bottoms. And even if she was able to see the privilege, bathing suits are stupid and they're sold like as separates, is that stupid? It's not that stupid. It's actually a good thing because, bodies are different. But like, they're expensive. Bathing suit because you only buy one and you wear it for 3 years or 4 years, right? It would have been more privileged for her to be like, I'm going to go buy another $50 pair of bathing suit bottoms, because her size, I'm assuming, how much is a bathing suit bottom at Cato? Or wait, what's the plus size company? Okay, Torrid bathing suits, 50% off swim right now. So let's see, swim bottoms. Okay, so $30, or no, this one's $44. This one's $50. Okay, so you were willing to spend another $30 to $50, and you don't see the privilege in that. You think it's unprivileged that you have to drive home to save money to get it. You would have spent $12 on gas versus $50 on a new pair of bathing suit bottoms. And yet you have no privilege.
And that is also part of the motivation of the collective, because I don't want anyone else to have to experience that.
Yeah. I don't want anybody else to have to experience the fact that my ADHD made me leave my bathing suit bottom at home, so I had to go drive to go get it instead of spending $50 on another pair. Like, let's not enable, irresponsibility. At least it was irresponsible that you left your bathing suit bottom, and it would have been irresponsible for you to buy another bathing suit bottom when you have one at home. I'm just saying she's not seeing the privilege in that. Do you guys see the privilege in that? Like, the privilege in just being like, oh, fuck it, I've got money, I'll just go buy another pair. Like, that's privilege. Also, it's actually a good thing that she went home and bought the other one, because fast fashion sucks.
I'll end with this. I I look back to my, my time through diet culture and how I was so sure that I had found the right thing, right? And like, I imagine people can look at me and my platform and think, oh, she's just in a cult, right? Like, she's just
I do. You are in a cult. It's something that we like to call a death cult. You are literally trying to enable people to stay obese and practically mourn their bodies before they leave this planet. And yes, you are a recruiter of a death cult.
brainwashed herself into believing this. And here's the difference is I believed what I did back then, hoping it would bring me closer to peace. And now, in the largest body that I've ever been in, being rejected by more people because of the stance that I take, I have never felt more peace with myself than ever before. And that has been far more healing than having other people.
I look at her and I do think that maybe she is like sincere. Like I'm sure she's more comfortable now, but I think that has to do with maturing as like an adult. Although I've seen her other rooms in her house and I think that she's still kind of like stuck somewhere in like a bit of immaturity. I don't know. But I think I do find sincerity. I think that she is comfortable, but I think she's gaslit herself into believing what she's doing is the right thing, which again, I'll say it again. If you want to be fat, that's fine. When you come onto the internet and you promote or you enable people to remain fat or even claim that any type of diet or lifestyle change is a beating recorder, we're enemies. We're enemies.
Co-sign me, or like give me the check mark of, I give myself the check mark. And my life is so full and so beautiful and so big, and I've also had big grief, but both get to be true at the same time. It's not either or, it's both and.
Brie, I think we're going to end it there because that was just so beautiful. But for any listeners out there, if you are interested in hearing a little bit more about rest and our relationship to rest.
All right. So anyway, you guys, there is our friend Brie Compost there, body grief, body image by Brie on the gram, and she is going to teach us how to deal with body grief, which her definition of body grief has to do with the fact that it is impossible for you to lose weight. So therefore, let's just accept that. Go through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to being obese and enable each other to be obese together. We'll be in this death cult forever. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I know you're like, we're thinking about it, and you were like, I did it already, but double check. I don't think you did it. Like this video if you liked it. If it's giving you the option to hype it, please hype it, because it does help a lot. And if you haven't already become a member, it's only $2 a month and you get an extra video every weekend. It may not be like, a top tier fun edited video, but it is still going to be fun, and it will still be edited, just not, top tier. And I might be in my pajamas. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave a bowl of ice cream in the comments below for our gal Brie Capos, and to show me that you've healed, so you eat the entire quart of ice cream out of the quart. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much again. Goodbye.
Last day I knew you were my pet. I wanna tell you that I love